Sean, WSRT Fitness. If this is your first time here, please remember to subscribe, click the bell, and select all for notifications. Thank you so much for watching and welcome. Today, I'm going to be responding to a long, heartfelt comment that was made on one of my videos that I actually disagree with. And in order to do that, before I begin, I would like to tell everybody, do not harass this woman. Most of these statements are her opinion, and she is entitled to them. Now, I disagree, so I'm going to make my points based on her statements on why I disagree and give some quick examples, but do not harass this woman. So I'm going to run down her comment one section at a time so that way I don't misquote and I can address appropriately. And so this comment is from Rebecca Johnson. Rebecca, if you see this video you'd like to further discuss or debate, however you want to term it, I'm completely open to it. I feel that your comments, though I disagree, were respectful, and I think more open, respectful discussion needs to be had in the world on many, many different subjects. So point number one that she makes is being thin does not mean you're immune to the same diseases. Thin people have fat around organs too. Yes, you are absolutely correct. For somebody to have no fat around their organs, so no visceral fat, would be just as unhealthy as having too much fat. However, when you are much, much more likely, obviously, to have too much fat around your organs, which the more fat you have, the more pressure is going to put on the organs, which is going to make them more likely to have issues, in which if those issues end up requiring you to have a procedure, the visceral fat will also make it harder for the doctors to do that procedure. It may increase pain, and it will increase your recovery time, which, you know, it increases the dangers of having these procedures. Why would you want to be at a greater risk than you need to be if you did need to have a procedure done, you know, on one of your organs? Number two, thin vegans get heart attacks too. Actually, my step-grandfather is a vegan, and he did also have a heart attack. So I know you're absolutely correct there too. However, if you are 150 pounds overweight, you are a much greater likelihood to have a heart attack than if you are at a healthy weight. Not only are you more likely at that heavier weight to have the heart attack, but your recovery time will be longer. Your likelihood to die is greater, much like what I was saying in the last point. Why do you want to increase the likelihood that you're going to die or die prematurely? 3, do you understand how diets make you fatter long term? Do you know women who spend their whole lives dieting and are still fat? That's no way to live. Absolutely, being obese is no way to live. It actually reduces your quality of life. So why would you want to be that way? Get to a healthy weight. Get to a healthy weight. And as far as diets making you fatter long term, no, the fuck they don't. People getting miserable and depressed because they fail a diet is what makes them fatter, because a lot of the times they have issues that they drown themselves in comforts with food. They comfort themselves with food. And that is not safe. That is not healthy. Now, I'm not saying that that is your particular case. I'm just saying that that's in a lot of cases. And so, you know, let's separate the two. If you go on a diet and you fail at that diet, that does not mean that you should get depressed and gain all your weight back, nor does it mean you'll gain all of the weight back. It's when you start overeating and saying, fuck it, that's when you gain all the weight back. And as far as failing that diet, that doesn't mean that you failed. That means that that diet failed because that's not the right one for you. Find a different style of eating. That's why when I deal with my clients, I don't tell them to do a particular diet. I try to help them find a healthy, balanced diet. And by diet, I don't mean an actual plan. I mean daily repetitive action of having foods that they like that's in a healthy amount, a lean meat, a starchy carb, a couple servings of healthy vegetables. Love vegetables. Anyway, 4, fat is disgusting to our culture. If you're fat, you're lazy, ugly, fat grows ugly. All doctors can focus on is your weight. So they don't see you, they see fat. Maybe the shitty doctors. However, if you need to lose weight, any good doctor will say, hey, you need to lose a couple of pounds. You know, this is where you're trending. This is where you need to be. What can we do to help you get there? Sometimes, and in a lot of cases, And in a lot of cases, reducing your weight can reduce a lot of the symptoms and pains and problems that you're having. There are a lot of things that I had wrong with me when I was obese that I didn't realize were because of my obesity. And it wasn't until I lost the weight that I recognized that, wow, my weight was the amount of fat, both subcutaneous and visceral, were doing this to me. So that is, and as far as the lazy, ugly grows, lazy should not be determined by somebody's weight. I realize that a lot of people do it, but you know what? The people who make those assumptions that you're lazy, gross, or ugly because you're fat, they have their own issues that they need to deal with. You could be beautiful. You could be the most beautiful person in the world and be 500 pounds, but you cannot be healthy at 500 pounds. And that's the point that I repetitively make in these videos, is that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how beautiful you are, because if you're dead, nobody's going to see how beautiful you are. 5, not all fat people are unhealthy. Yes, they are. Even if you don't, now you, I believe, are speaking from the idea of the metabolic condition idea of, do they have diabetes, cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, GERD, do they have PCOS, low T, all of these other conditions that are either caused by or exacerbated by being obese. And does every single person who's obese have these conditions? No, absolutely not. However, they will over time. But just being obese itself is a medical condition. I made a whole video about that. I believe that was the first one I made when I was on my crutches after having surgery. Obesity is a medical condition. All those aches and pains that I guarantee if you are obese that you wouldn't have if you were at a healthy weight, that is a symptom of a condition, and that condition is obesity. So no, you are not healthy. Not only that, once you become medically obese, you're actively shortening your life. Why do you want to shorten life? Rebecca, I know you've got kids. I saw the videos on your channel. I checked out your channel very quickly before making this video. If you've got kids, you should be wanting to spend as much time with them as possible. You should want to spend time with their kids and their grandkids. You should want to be around as long as possible to enjoy as much of your family, and so that your family can enjoy as much of you as possible. Let's see. Number 6, I don't think you may fully understand Linda Bacon. No, I understand her enough. She is pandering to an audience that's sick of bullshit. And by bullshit, I mean the fad diets. And it's easy to say, oh, well, fuck the diet. And then she writes her book and sells it. And you'll buy it because you're buying into her message, and which makes her money. Anybody who is pandering to an audience like that and telling them what they want to hear. Just like, for example, the study that she actually cited in the article that caused me to make that video was her own study, first of all. And secondly, it wasn't based on scientific parameters. It was basically her asking patients how they feel that day. Mental health is a completely different discussion from physical health. I am not here to discuss how you feel. I am not an expert in that. I have very little knowledge of how that works outside of my own head, my wife's head, my kid's head to a certain degree. However, I do understand what's going on in your body if you are obese. So those are two different things. Asking somebody how they feel about being fat and then using parameters, scientific parameters to judge the progress of their life based on their physical condition are two completely different things. So I understand Dr. Linda Bacon enough. She's just trying to make money off of you. Number 7, Linda, breath of fresh air compared to Weight Watchers Keto Whole30. So first of all, Linda Bacon is not a breath of fresh air to anything. She is a simple snake oil salesman, a carpetbagger, if you want to go back to Civil War times. She is just in it to make money. She does not care about you or anybody in her audience. And if Dr. Linda Bacon were to ever see this, I challenge her to debate me on that. Because as somebody who works sales for a long time, I'm willing to bet that I can ask 5 questions that will prove that she does not give a shit about you. She gives a shit about how much of your money she can get. Whether it be books, IO tapes, courses, whatever. She's in it for money. And as far as Weight Watchers Keto Whole 30, as I've said multiple times already in this video, and many, many other times, I do not prescribe any particular diet because, in my opinion, they are all bullshit. They're all short-term. Find an eating style, a food selection that works best for you. Let's see. Number 8, I firmly believe in intuitive eatings and the healthy movement. The original idea, in my opinion, of where the healthy at every size or health at every size movement was. I believe that the original idea is very different than the incarnation that we see today. The movement has been hijacked by extremists and panderers, just trying to take money. And so I can make a separate video about my full opinion on the healthy at every size. I kind of touch on it a lot here and there. If you believe in intuitive eating, that is okay. It's okay to believe in that. However, if you are somebody who's 400 pounds and has an issue with leptin resistance, who has an increased insulin sensitivity, who has any of these other conditions that cause you to overeat, just medically, not even the mental part, just physically overeat, then intuitive eating is not for you. If you can look at a large pizza and say, let's see if I can pound that whole thing down today, you're not in a healthy place. I know that when I was obese, I used to eat over a pound of pasta at a sitting. That is not healthy. My record was 2 pounds of pasta in one sitting, and that doesn't include like all the sauce and cheese and shit that I put on it. So that intuitive eating for somebody who is obese is like giving a heroin addict a loaded needle. For some, if you're at a healthy weight, which Rebecca, I don't know what you look like. I don't know whether or not you're obese. I don't know your story. And I invite you to tell your story, by the way. You're completely welcome. Maybe we could even set something up on Skype, record, maybe even make a video if you're willing. Anyway, if you're at a healthy weight and you have a healthy relationship with food, intuitive eating may be, not definitely, but maybe a way for you to go. However, if you are obese, especially if you're morbidly obese, if you are having a lot of issues, and what I commonly see in both day to day and in my chosen profession, it is not a good way to go. It is not a healthy thing to do. 9, I am personally done trying to control my eating. I am letting my intuition lead me. Some days I eat more, others less. The first half of this statement is one reason why I feel it was so important at the beginning that I tell everybody to not harass this woman. If you're personally done trying to control your eating, it sounds to me like you have given up. And when it's one thing to give up on a diet. I gave up on many diets. I tried so many different fad diets, it's not even funny. But at the same time, it doesn't sound like you're giving up on that fad diet. It sounds like you're giving up on yourself. And Rebecca, I know you've got kids. I saw those videos that you posted on YouTube. That's why I'm getting closer and closer to this camera, because I want you to know I hear you. I understand you. I really do. I know what it's like to fail. I have failed many times in my life, and I'm sure I'll fail many more times. But the idea, Rebecca, it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get back up. That cliche saying is very, very true. And instead of blaming the diets, look in the mirror, face to face, nobody else in the room, close the door, look in your bedroom, bathroom, wherever your mirror is at home, and say, I can do better for myself. I am failing because of me, and I'm not going to fail myself anymore. And move, and then go on with your day. Every day I want you to say that to yourself in the mirror, and you probably won't do. You probably think I'm an asshole, and I don't even know if you've made it this far, 15 minutes into this video. I don't know if you've seen this or not. But it sounds like you've given up on yourself. And if you do see this far, I want you to know, Rebecca, I support you. I hope that you can have the healthiest life possible. I hope that you can enjoy as much of your kids' lives and your kids can enjoy as much of your life as possible. As far as that last part, the some days eating more and less, absolutely. I do the same thing. Yesterday, I was 300 calories over my daily goal. I'm going to make adjustments. I'm going to eat a little less these next 3 days to make it right, to keep myself balanced out. But at the same time, some days you're going to eat a little bit more. Some days you're going to eat a little less. That doesn't make or break you. That doesn't define you. What it does is it allows you to keep moving forward. And that's what you should do. You should keep moving forward. So Rebecca, before I close out this video, I do want to say I respect you for writing out that long and heartfelt comment. That's why I made this long and heartfelt video. Because I also feel that there's an educational component for everybody watching. I hope that you're healthy. And if not, I hope that you can get healthy. I hope that you find the way that works best for you. And Rebecca, I'll invite you to have any discussion with me you want. And should you ever decide that you need a coach, if you do need to lose weight, get to a healthy weight, I hope that you'd seek me out. I'd be right there for you. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below your thoughts, your opinions. You can also give me any questions, video ideas there. I will respond, as you can see by this video. With that being said, follow me on Instagram at WSRT Fitness. You can join the Facebook group WSRT Fitness, where the Train with WSRT Fitness subgroup is. And I hope everybody has a great day. I'll talk to you again soon.